புத்தூர் கேள்வி காலேஜ்
Testing, hello, hello, testing, hello, testing, hello, hello. Hello, 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 microphone testing. Hello, testing, hello, hello, testing, hello, hello, testing, hello, testing, hello, hello. Hello, testing, hello, testing, hello, hello, testing. ஆமா hello, testing, hello, testing, hello, 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 testing, hello, testing, hello, 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 testing, hello. Hello, testing, hello, testing, hello, hello.
Good morning, everybody. Please take your seat. Before we begin, may I kindly ask you to either switch off your phone or put it on a silent mode, please. Respected President, dear brothers and sisters, this morning I have a great honor and pleasure to introduce our speakers of this symposium that will be on truth and beauty. Our first speaker will be Shikhar Agnihotri, a young man who has a bachelor degree in science. Although young, he's already retired voluntarily. He joined the TS in 2018. He has been very active since joining. He is the founder member and former secretary of Rakya Lodge in Lucknow and founder member and secretary of Maitri Group of the Theosophical Order of Service in Lucknow also. For the past 3 years, he has been the national lecturer of the Indian section, conducted several camps, study camps, given lectures, and done many things in both schools and colleges. So please, Shikhar.
Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Para Brahman, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Dear and respected chairperson of the session, respected co-speakers, International President Brother Tim, and dear brethren. Loving greetings to everyone, those who are present here in person and those who are watching this convention live in different parts of the world. I feel that the theme of this year's convention is somewhat enigmatic. What I'm not aware of is that whether this enigma is intentional on part of TS administration or is it yet another case of a subtle sign by nature. Truth and beauty, the two aspects of one reality. The two aspects, since they are prominent in nature, we often become conditioned to the illusion of duality, that everything in this world is full of dualities, like day and night, ebb and tide. But just one careful look around at the events, and it becomes crystal clear that there is no duality. Instead, always a trinity. Because whenever manifestation takes place from the unmanifested, it has to be in the three aspects. And that is why with every day and night, there is always a dawn or dusk. With every ebb and tide, there is always slack water. And therefore, in the same way, wherever there is truth and beauty, there is always goodness. So maybe the theme of this year's convention reminds and expects all of us to aspire and search for that hidden goodness within that is very conspicuous by its absence in the theme of this year's convention. The way of expressing deep-rooted philosophical truths in the form of words, sutras, or aphorisms has been adopted since time immemorial by almost every esoteric discipline. The purpose being that the student must meditate on these aphorisms to go deeper and deeper within oneself and reach a state of consciousness that is universal. The aphorism of Satyam Shivam Sundaram, truth, goodness, and beauty, is one of the most wonderful such expressions in the esoteric philosophy. But as is always happens with every such word or expression, that everyone understands it in his or her own way, which means although the words are the same, but their meaning changes from person to person, just as in the case of the words like God or love. But here, we shall try to explore the meaning of these words as an aspect of divine. So what is this truth and beauty? One thing is for sure, that it belongs to a field beyond. A field that is beyond our present scheme of things, which is governed by the mind. Truth is something that is expressed differently in different spiritual literatures. But one thing we must be aware of is that opinions are not the truth. Opinions may be true to somebody, but they may not be the whole truth. For example, if I write a digit 6 on a piece of paper and I show it to a person standing in front of me and ask him what is written, he will read it as digit 9. And he thinks he has the truth, I think I have the truth, but none of us have the truth. What we have is an opinion, a partial truth. In this case, however, the truth is very easily understood, but it does not happen so easily. In other day-to-day events, when people find it utterly impossible that the completely contradictory opinions can, in fact, be reconciled perfectly by a higher understanding, pragya, or wisdom. A capacity within each and every one of us which sees and realizes the unity of life, a field beyond. But since a lot has been said and discussed about the truth, so let us try to explore this subject through the aspect of beauty. And we must arrive at the same result because all three of them belong to the same origin. And if we go to the root of the one, inevitably we will be having the other two as well there. So what is beauty? Very often we find ourselves saying that such and such object is beautiful. That object may be a person, a thing, a natural scenery, a painting, a car, a mobile phone. It can be anything and everything. And we are so convinced about this fact that the beauty is in the object, that the struggle, that the beautiful object in front becomes extremely significant. And the struggle to possess it, to secure it, creates everything except beauty. But we rarely put across the inquiry whether the beauty is in the object. Because if it were so, the same object would be beautiful to everyone, isn't it? But we all know that such is not the case. For someone, a rose is beautiful. For someone else, the thorn is beautiful. Someone may find a tree full of lush green leaves beautiful, and yet there will be someone who finds a tree stripped naked of all the leaves, standing tall with an early morning sun and a clear blue sky in the background to be the most beautiful thing in this whole world. But if we observe carefully, this description does not tell us about the beauty of the object. What it tells is about the liking, disliking, or the aesthetic sense of the observer. And so, it is subjective and hence fragmented. Thus, the beauty is not in the perception of an object. Then where does the beauty exist? Most of us would agree with the statement that beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. But again, this is a subjective statement, because then the sense of beauty will change from beholder to beholder, and we are back to square one. But what we are talking about here, the beauty, is an aspect of divine, and divinity is universal, so beauty must have a meaning that has a universal connotation to it. It has to have an integrated meaning, not a fragmented one. And that is why I would like to put forth a thought for everyone for further individual exploration, that beauty is not in the perception of an object, beauty is in the absence of the subject. Beauty is not in the perception of the object, beauty is in the absence of the subject, because it is the subject that is creating all the division, fragmentation, and differentiation, which means that the famous quote that we just discussed would become that beauty is in the eyes when there is no beholder. And the beholder that we are talking about is the lower self, the personality, the sense of separateness. So what sort of eyes are these which have the beauty when there is no beholder? They are the eyes of the soul, as the voice of silence confirms. Before the soul can see, the harmony within must be attained, and the fleshly eyes must be rendered blind to all illusion, the illusion of sense of separateness. And HPB makes it more lucid in the Theosophical Glossary when she says, the same eyes developed in Lord Buddha when he was attaining Buddhahood. These are the eyes of the glorified spirit, to which matter is no longer a physical impediment, and which have the power to see all things within the space of limitless universe. And that is the relationship between beauty and beatitude, meaning blessedness, benediction, bliss, that does not depend on anything external. But the more important question is how to realize this benediction, this bliss. And we all are aware of this fact in nature, that the solution exists where the problem is. So those of us who are willing to go deeper into this may do a small memory exercise with me. Since we are running short of time, so I would have waited for the answers to the questions that I'm going to put. But due to time, I would put forth some queries, and I shall also answer the most common, universal, and logical answers to those questions. So in the next 5 seconds, we try to remember the most beautiful object that we have come across in our lives, with our eyes open or eyes closed. And now we stay there with that object, with that moment, and try to see what our reactions were to that object. Someone might have said, wow, it's beautiful, amazing, awesome. Someone from my generation would have said, wow, it's cool. And someone else might have just said, oh my God, etc. But the basic thing is the verbalization occurs. Let us take one step before this verbalization occurred. What could have happened? Obviously, the thought of these words must have arisen in the mind. Although this happens with everyone, but it happens so fast that sometimes we feel that it does not exist at all, but it does. Because without thoughts, speech is not possible. Let us go even one more step behind. Even before the thought arose in the mind, what could possibly be there? Even before the thought arose. Please be very vigilant, because this is very, very significant. And this is the door to the field beyond. to that truth, beauty, or goodness, what was there before the thought arose? I would say there was a sense of wonder, a sense of joy, astonishment, freshness, an element of surprise. Whatever it is a matter of realization and awareness at that moment. But one thing is for sure, that there was no thinker as yet. It does not matter if this state lasted for 10 seconds, 1 second, microsecond, nanosecond. What matters is that it does exist in the very daily life that we are living. And this is the door to that field beyond. As HPB said, live in the eternal, neither in the present nor in the future. This is that moment of eternal now. At least a doorway to it, and not just about living in the present moment, but rather in the eternal now. How long this state lasts depends a lot on our habit, whether we have developed a habit of reacting immediately to anything and everything instead of being aware with silence. Because in this reaction, we miss this eternal now. We miss that moment of truth and beauty, seeing the thing as it is. And this is not something alien to us. We all have been through this as children. Look at the children. How full of wonder they are all the time. Whether they see a spider, a frog, or a butterfly, or a pebble stone. But as we grow up, we lose this capacity to feel this freshness, this joy, this wonder in the small things of daily life. And then we look for this benediction, this bliss in the churches, in the mosques, in the temples, and in monasteries. But in spite of all this hustle bustle of our modern daily life, every now and then, thanks God, for a fraction of a second, something catches our attention that our limited, busy mind did not expect. It can be anything. That is not important. What is important is that it opens up a window, even for a fraction of a second, for the bliss of beauty to enter when there is no personality. But in this whole process, the element of surprise plays a very important role, because it is something that is not expected, not anticipated, beyond imagination. But we know that the mind does not like surprises, because the mind wants security. And the beauty is to see that there is no security whatsoever in life. And that is why love is beautiful. Because in love, there is no security. Although the mind always wants and tries to secure love by so many means, love is the most vulnerable state of being, and yet it is the most fearlessly blissful and the most powerful binding and transforming force in this whole universe. That is why love welcomes everyone and everything with open arms. It does not differentiate between a criminal and a saint, because when love has its way, it even transforms a criminal into a saint. And that is the alchemy of love, and that is the beauty. But one of the most misunderstood words, just like beauty, is love. The most unfortunate thing, perhaps, was the classification of love into various types, like conditional, unconditional, material love, spiritual love, human love, divine love. It is like classifying terrorism. Good terrorism, bad terrorism. What it did was to give the mind some leeway, some allowance in the name of human love, And now human love has everything in it that is not love. It has attachment, it has expectations, seeking security, seeking pleasure, seeking position. It even has envy and hatred when the expectations are not met. Apart from the occasional unselfish good wishes and sacrifice for the other, of course. But just as beauty, love has nothing to do with the other. As many wise individuals in the past have expressed it very clearly, that as long as there is I and there is you, there is no love. So shall we stop saying I love you? Of course not. Because that will make our lives and this world a very, very dry place, and our planet is already drying up. What one can do is to be aware while expressing those three words that whether or not there is an asterisk mark at the right upper hand of those three words implying conditions apply. In the end, I would like to share that when that unexpected moment of potential beauty and eternity presents itself to us next time, we attend to it totally, completely, without any distraction, without any verbalization, without taking pictures which include selfies, without any distraction. And the truth, goodness, and beauty will be there in that moment of eternal now. And when we begin, or when we try to live like that, as President yesterday said, as easy as it may sound, as difficult it is, because the old habits die hard. So when we begin to live like that, try to live like that, gradually, all moments become full of this freshness, this wonder, this joy, truth, beauty, and goodness. Irrespective, this is the very important point, irrespective of the external circumstances. May each one of us realize that Trinity within and express it without in his or her own way. And with these wishes to everyone, to including myself, for the year 2019, I would like to end this talk. And thank you for a patient hearing. Namaste. And I apologize if I've taken more time.
Thank you, Shikar, for enlightening the divine aspects of truth, beauty, and goodness, and also for reminding us that the only way to perceive them is in this eternal now, in this moment here, and also for reminding us that as long as there is this separation between ourselves and others, true love is not there. Now, I have the pleasure to invite here Dr. Barbara Hébert, who is currently the president of the Theosophical Society in America. She's a third-generation Theosophist and member of the Theosophical Society for over 40 years. She has been active in local, regional, and national Theosophical Society activities. And throughout the years, she has worked as a mental health professional in a variety of settings. So please, Barbara.
Thank you. Esteemed President, Mrs. Boyd, fellow speakers, Krista, brothers and sisters, it is a joy to be here. I apologize. I am taking in a little bit of the earth of Mother India, and the dust makes me cough. But that means that I will take Mother India home with me. Truth and beauty, the primary concepts upon which the theme of the 2018 International Convention is built, are intrinsic in the theosophical worldview, as we have heard from so many speakers. They are eternal principles that are inherent in the ageless wisdom. However, the tremendous depth of these perennial concepts requires study, discussion, and contemplation, and probably dedication. They may raise questions for us, both from a philosophical and a spiritual perspective. They may raise practical questions for us as well. Together, we will explore a few of these questions. What is beauty from a theosophical perspective? What is truth from the perspective of the ageless wisdom? What is their relationship? How do we implement these concepts into our daily lives? As seekers on the spiritual path, we have an almost instinctual desire to search for and ultimately realize, to the best of our ability, the eternal principles known to us as truth and beauty. Many of our speakers have said that beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. What one person perceives as beautiful may not be perceived by the next person as beautiful. The same may be said of truth, at least in the non-theosophical world. What one person perceives as truth may not be perceived so by the next person. We see this often in our world. One person believes that the image of Christ on the crucifix is beautiful, while the next person perceives the image of the multi-armed Shiva as beautiful. One person's truth is that after a life of bad behaviors, an individual will spend eternity in the fiery pit of hell, while another person perceives that consciousness does not exist after the death of the physical body. These differences in perspectives, among many other differences, have been the cause of strife and disharmony among people, among religious traditions, and among countries since the beginning of recorded history. Within the perennial wisdom tradition, the concepts of beauty and truth are perceived in a very different way. They are understood as emanating from another realm of consciousness, from a field beyond this phenomenal world in which we live. The depth of these concepts is probably beyond the comprehension of most, if not all, of us. Yet as seekers on the path of divine wisdom, we are almost compelled to seek the depth of meaning behind beauty and truth. The motto of the Theosophical Society is, "There is no religion higher than truth." From this, we may understand that truth, with a capital T, lies beyond any spiritual or religious tradition. Truth stands alone as the ageless wisdom. It has always been and will always be. It is the ultimate reality, as opposed to Maya, this illusory world in which we live. One aspect of truth, as shared in the Theosophical teachings, is that all life is one. This is the basis for the first object of the Theosophical Society. We and everything around us are an expression of the one life, or whatever we may call it. Take a moment, look around. Everything you see is an expression of the one life. The brothers and sisters sitting near us, expressions of the one life. The dogs on the property, the trees, the flowers, the birds, the insects. They are all expressions of the one life. We are looking at the ultimate reality when we use our eyes, and how glorious that is, and how truly beautiful. Expressions of the one life. This is beauty, and we are surrounded by it every minute of every single day, if we would only recognize it. If the ultimate reality, the one life, whatever we call it, is truth, then it must also be the highest form of beauty. Beauty is truth. Truth is beauty. The equivalency of truth and beauty is not a new idea. Tagore said, "Beauty is truth's smile when she beholds her face in a perfect mirror." John Keats spoke very similarly, saying, "Beauty is truth, truth, beauty. That is all ye know on earth, and all ye need to know." Even St. Augustine had a few words to say about the relationship of beauty and truth, saying, "Beauty is the splendor of truth." This is why we are compelled to seek beauty and truth. When we find one, we find the other. I'm not sure if we can totally experience beauty and truth while living in this physical existence. But I do believe that we can find glimpses of it, moments of inner knowing that something is so right, so joyous, so otherworldly, so indescribable, that we know in our heart of hearts that it is truth. It changes our perspective on the world. Everything that we see and experience has that intangible feeling of beauty because we have glimpsed truth. These ideas, while beautiful in a more personality-based way, are just that, ideas. We must move beyond thought and implement these ideas into our daily lives. Self-transformation, self-regeneration, expansion of consciousness, whatever we call it, we must change ourselves so that we can change the world. It is through this process of self-transformation, self-regeneration, that we begin to incorporate truth and beauty into our lives. From a very practical perspective, it is reasonable to ask, how? How do we do it? I haven't done it, so I'm not 100% sure, but I think we do it minute by minute. It is a process that requires time and effort. The more we can stay in a state of calmness and balance, listening to that still inner voice, the more likely we are to find glimpses of truth in our everyday lives. When we focus on the idea that everything we see and experience is an expression of the one life, then we begin to see beauty in all that surrounds us. We strive to glimpse truth. We see beauty. Once again, it seems so simple to say, but at least for me, it is very difficult. It requires constant attention to one's thoughts, one's feelings, one's behaviors, one's actions and reactions. Former International President Rhoda Bernier writes in her book on human regeneration, since regeneration is the purpose of the society, the nature of the work must encourage awareness of what we are doing and thinking, of our prejudices, our hidden dislikes and desires. The mind must become more sensitive, perceptive, and intelligent, and sense the inner nature of life, its meaning and beauty. Regeneration involves this qualitative change of consciousness. Clearly, self-observation is key. With self-observation, we learn to recognize those thoughts, behaviors, feelings, and reactions that require change. Without awareness of the need to change, we can't make the change. But once we are aware of the need to change, then we begin to make the changes. The first step, then, is to become aware of what needs to be changed, or to use Radha's word, regenerated. Regenerating or changing is a process. It takes time and practice. It reminds me of a baby learning to walk. He or she begins to pull up, to get on their feet, and to see a whole new world, experience a sense of autonomy and freedom that he or she has never experienced before. And then the steps come. Toddles, one step, maybe two, and then a fall. But the baby gets up again and continues to practice, continues to fall, continues to get up. This is how we change as well. We start the process through self-observation and find a whole new world and experience the freedom that change can bring. And we begin to make the changes and fall, or at least we fall back into our old ways. But we get up and we do it again and again and again, as long as we need to, until finally some aspect of self-transformation has occurred. Making changes in our thoughts, our feelings, our behaviors, our actions and reactions helps us as we traverse the spiritual path. We hopefully find that we are calmer and more balanced. We can more easily hear that still, small voice within. We move a step closer to that field beyond, and we have made an impact, however small, on the consciousness of humanity. As the Sufi poet Rumi says, always remember you are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, smarter than you think, and twice as beautiful as you'd ever imagined. Yesterday I was clever, so I wanted to change the world. Today I am wise, so I am changing myself. Let us be wise and change ourselves. In this way, we are more likely to catch glimpses of truth and to recognize the eternal beauty with which we are surrounded. We are more likely to realize that we are both a part of and surrounded by the glorious expressions of the one life, truth and beauty, and to step more closely to a field beyond. Thank you.
Thank you, Barbara, for your beautiful words, and moreover to what they indicated or what was behind those words, and for showing this process, what we use or through what we go to have the glimpses of beauty and truth. Thank you. And now I am glad to present to you Dr. Isaac Hawley, who has a PhD degree in psychology. He was a General Secretary of the Mexican section, and now currently he is collaborating with the Spanish section of the Theosophical Society. So please, Isaac.
Mr. President, dear brothers and sisters, when you are retired in the symposium, you have two situations. First, my co-speakers spoken about my ideas that I got to repeat. This is the first. Sorry if I say more or less the same. And the second, I need to run. I have not so much time. The theme of the convention, Truth and Beauty and Heal Beyond. This theme inspires the truth and beauty that we need to permit that we express in our life. H.P.V. Blavatsky states in the Decay of Theosophy, if inter-comparison may be permitted, Theosophy is the ceaseless ocean of universal truth, love and wisdom, reflecting in this radiance on the earth. This word, radiance, later I got to use in another sentence. While the Theosophical Society is only a visible bubble of that reflection. This invisible bubble of wisdom is at the level of the human beings when they decide to apply into daily life. As Master K.H. asserts in the letter 68, I quote, does it seem to you a small thing that the past year has been spent only in your family duties? Nay, but what better cause of reward, what better discipline than the daily every art performance of duty? Believe me, my pupil, the man or woman who is placed by karma in the midst of the small plain duties and sacrifice and loving kindness will through this faithful and fulfilled rise to the latest measure of duty, sacrifice and charity of all humanity. What better path towards this enlightenment you are striving after that, the daily conquest of self, the perseverance in spite of want of visible psychic progress, the bearing of ill fortune with that serene fortitude which turns into spiritual advantage. Since good and evil are not to be measured by events on the lower or physical plane. This common life is endowed with Sapiens' spiritual weight to be studied as the frame of real reference of personal and social grade. Here asks ourselves the existential question which directly concerns almost every woman and man. Can daily life, the ordinary everyday life that the common citizen of the household, the employer, the businessman, and so on, by the type of life that they deceive to be full lived, be able to make people happy, and be, if we may say so, a practice to discover beauty and truth? We think this can be the beginning, that the daily life is the best path to travel of every day, where the human beings find his way and follows his destiny to fully realize himself. Time and time again, it is suggested that the ordinary actions in daily life are the heart of field where our personality develops and improves itself. We cannot deny that the little has been defended in some writers and mystics and philosophers, but that of the theosophical path in the present itself as the great opportunity to the overcome aspects of the structural of the personal ego in their daily life. But what happened with those who do nothing great, who are the majority of human beings, cannot realize the beauty, the truth, and happy? Do they have in faith life? This does not fall within the karma law, which places each human being in his real place. Since from the simplest life to the most exalted, within the habitual life, daily life, to the great purpose of the desire of life, can be perceived as the research and encounter with this sense of own existence, of the realization of what is beautiful and good through family, profession, and social relationship, and solidarity with others. Already in ancient Greece, Plato proposed three concepts that will be assumed, be assumed in the future centuries as the greatest values of humanity: truth, beauty, and kindness. He took the definition of beauty to the metaphysical level that is elevated into spiritual beauty. In this way, he deduced that the beauty is that everybody wants, identified it with kindness and truth. This was the ideal of Platonic beauty. Plato's concept about beauty includes both physical and spiritual, of the bodies and artistic objects, both colors and sounds, and also laws, moral attitudes. Therefore, beauty is good and truth, as well as the good is true and beauty, and truth is good and beauty. Later, Plotino affirms that, as Plato did, that beauty is in the life not only in forms, but also in something that hides behind forms and is identified as soul. Beauty is not found in forms, but in the radiance. The soul is what makes us perceive that radiance in all things, in all forms, have a light of beauty, truth, and good. Here I agree with my co-speakers about the souls permit to us to perceive the radiance in all the objects. But the soul have different maturation, we got to say, different deeply grow. And this is why some people, it's possible for these people to perceive this radiance in the objects and different kind of objects, and another only a few. The difference, the variation is in the deeply of the soul. The only true daily life with an orientation towards the beauty, truth, and good can be found the path of the improving of self and derive a new theosophical philosophy of daily life. As the height of our times, which turns the sight of the world of life, we need to get to the point when our divine self, or I, is the guide of every daily act and thought in ordinary life, as HPV affirmed. I have just told you that the ideal efflorescence of all the abstracts, therefore undying and eternal qualities or attributes, such as love and mercy, the love of the good, the true and the beautiful, as ever spoke in the heart of the living personality, clung after death to the ego, and therefore followed it to the vajjan. Thank you.
Thank you, Isaac, for your thoughts and for showing us how it is through daily life and also to where we are. It is there where we are that we can experience truth and beauty. I would like to, I believe I can say so, on behalf of the whole auditorium, to thank all of our 3 speakers for your thoughts and ideas. Thank you very much. And now, may I kindly ask International Secretary Mari Ardama to come here to give a few announcements to everybody. Thank you.
First is a lost phone, mobile phone is found at the beach outside the gate. If anybody, our delegates, is missing phone, come to here and get it. Lalit Cheka. You can get your badge from me. Then members of Uttar Pradesh Federation may kindly assemble in here, Adyar Theatre, immediately after this symposium. And about today's program. There will be at 1 p.m. Theosophical Order of Service meeting. It is mentioned as general body meeting, but this means invitation to all TOS members, and it will take in Library Hall. So 1 p.m. all TOS members are welcome. What? Oh, sorry, Headquarters Hall. Clear? Headquarters Hall. Thanks. And then in the afternoon, 3 p.m., we have a new try in the program of the International Convention. First time we try, or we do run parallel sessions, which means that same time in 4 different places there will be workshops or programs. And you can see in the program, in Headquarters Hall, there is chanting workshop. Mr. Harihara Raghavan will lead you to chanting. He will chant, and I think that he also invites you to follow, and he also explains about the chants. And then in Blavatsky Bungalow, where we had yesterday the great inauguration with a light show and walking inside. Blavatsky Bungalow, there is meditation workshop, and it is conducted by Venerable Olande Ananda. It will include short introduction and sitting, standing and walking meditation, and question and answers. The third workshop is here in Adyar Theatre, and it is listening to the beauty. There will be sacred spiritual songs in Hebrew, their translation and their stories. This workshop is led by our members from Israel, Mrs. Daphna and Mr. Shmuel Koren. There will be 40 minutes listening to the beauty and 20 minutes then heart vibration, a meditation connected to the heart with music and singing emanating from here and now. And then the fourth workshop takes place in Library Hall, and it is about theosophical education. Mrs. Sonal Murali and Mr. Vic Houchin Jr. will conduct that workshop, and there will be one part of it is introducing the Adyar Theosophical Academy, its principles and meaning and so on. And the workshop will also discuss on theosophical education area. So we don't know now how many will attend each. So if you go, you will choose freely where you wish to go, which workshop you want to attend. And if it happens that the room will be full, there is somebody to say that, sorry, you came too late. And you can try on 4th January. The same parallel sessions will go on 4th January. They are similar, same, and so you can go to another possibility. So kindly bear if you don't get in, but if you get in, participate gladly. Any questions about this? The Blavatsky Bungalow meditation workshop will be on 1st floor. So there is a little bit, pardon? Yes, one has to climb up to the 1st floor, but the walking meditation exercises will be anyway in the whole 1st floor. There is a lot of corridors. Yeah. So we try it like this year. Thank you. The session is closed.
ನಂದು ನಂದು ಅಂತೀಯಲ್ಲ. ದಾನ ಧರ್ಮ ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಗಳಿಸಿ ಗಳಿಸಿ ಇಟ್ಟೀಯಲ್ಲ. ದಾನ ಧರ್ಮ ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಗಳಿಸಿ ಗಳಿಸಿ ಇಟ್ಟೀಯಲ್ಲ. ಹಗಲು
ಮಂದಿರ ಮಂದಾರೆ ಶ್ರೀರಮಣೀ ಭುಜ ದುರ್ಗ ವಿಹಾರೆ ಸೇವಕ ಜನ ಮಂದಿರ ಮಂದಾರೆ ಪರಮಹಂಸ ಮುಖ ಚಂದ್ರ ಚಕೋರೆ ಪರಮಹಂಸ ಮುಖ ಚಂದ್ರ ಚಕೋರೆ ಪರಿಪೂರಿತ ಮುರಳೀ ರವದಾರೆ ಮಾನಸ ಸಂಚಾರಿ
Yeah? 1, 2, 1, 1, 1. All is 1. 1. Okay? Okay? A little bit louder. Thank you. Thank you. It's okay. Will you feel עושה לי, אני צריכה כאילו להיות יותר חופשי. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. I thought, and you introduce us? Yeah, somebody introduce us? Okay, yeah. And we start with breathing. And the bus is coming, so we wait a little bit.
Dear friends, we have a very special opportunity today to listen Hebrew sacred songs. Just for this occasion, they have been translated for the convention, and we hear about the stories or the descriptions for the singing, for the songs. And the title for this workshop is Listening to the Beauty. And as I have found out, our friends from Israel were very excited and inspired by the topic of this convention, the theme of this convention, which is related to beauty. And whom we have here, they are Daphna Koren. She is a teacher and lecturer and a workshop facilitator, healing and holistic therapy. And also BA in psychology and philosophy. MA in Education, Counseling and Human Development in Haifa University. And her husband, Shmuel Ronen Koren. He's a singer, musician, shaman, healer with voice. And he's the author of the book Ofek Bahir, A Bright Horizon. He's composer and writer of poetry and prose, developer of integrative voice therapy method. They have been members in the TS in Israel, which is a lodge attached to Adyar. They have been members since 2002, and they are running the northern branch of the Theosophical Society in Israel called Derech Lev, the way of heart. Did I pronounce it at all right? Anyway, we are very heartily welcome, and we are very much looking forward to listen you and whatever you guide us to do. Thank you.
Please stand up. This one you know. We all know. Void and life. Vibrant in every atom.
Vibrant in every atom, oh Eden light, shining in every creature, oh Eden light, embracing all in oneness, may each who feels himself as one with thee, know he is therefore one with every other. Oh, Eden life, vibrant in every atom. Oh, Eden light, shining in every creature. Oh, Eden light, embracing all in oneness. May each who feels himself as one with thee, know he is therefore one with every other.
We can continue to stand because first, just before we really start, we would like to invite the angels of peace to be with us in this gathering. In Judaism, it is customary to sing this song on Friday Eve, the start of the Saturday, the Shabbat, our sacred seventh day. So here, since we speak about sacred songs and beauty, we will start with the invocation, prayer to invite the angels of peace. It is from the Jewish prayer book. Peace be unto you, ye ministering angels, messengers of the Most High, the King of Kings, the Holy One, blessed be He. May your coming be in peace, messengers of peace, messengers of the Most High, the King of Kings, the Holy One, blessed be He. Bless me, bless us with peace, ye messengers of peace, messengers of the Most High, the King of Kings, the Holy One, blessed be He. May your staying be in peace, messengers of peace, messengers of the Most High, the King of Kings, the Holy One, blessed be He, and may your departure be in peace. Messengers of peace, angels of the Most High, the King of Kings, the Holy One, blessed be He.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hashem, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Bochem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ברכונו לשלום, מלכי השלום, מלכי עליון. ממלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. שירותכם לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון. ממלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. צאתכם לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון. ממלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא.
We can be seated. Indeed, it is important, after inviting the angels, once they have done their job, and perhaps we feel some of it, to let them go. Hello again. This is Shmuel Koren, and I'm Daphna. And together we have opened our home to be the North branch of the Theosophical Society in Israel. Almost all the overseas Theosophy guests arriving in Israel stayed for a while at our home on the Carmel Mountain. You probably know some of them: Mary Anderson, Family Tsenga, Vico Chin, Dr. Sonita and Maitreya, Miss Tranti King Dew, all of whom were touched by Shmuel's singing, and that's why we are here. Geoffrey Hodson, Theosophist, famous clairvoyant, who lectures many years for the Society, wrote in his book, Brotherhood of Angels and Men. This peace, we invited the angels' peace. This peace is the essence of all beautiful things: the quiet hour, the peaceful scene, the home fireside, the clasping hands of those who love, the worship of the devotee, the adoration of saints, the blessings of the gods. All these have at their essence peace, and without peace, their beauty is gone. Therefore, win peace. So here we found a way to connect the Jewish invocation of the peace angels with Geoffrey's prayer and invocation, calling the music angels, which appears in the same book. invocation for the angels of music from the book of Geoffrey Hodgson, The Brotherhood of Angels and Men. Hail, devas of music, come to our aid. Sing to us your song of joy. Fill us with divine harmony. Awaken us that we may hear your voice. Attune our ears to your song. Ensole our earthly music with your light. Share with us the labors of the earth, that men may hear the melodies you sing beyond the realms of space and time. The next song deals with peace and also with listening to music beyond space and time. It is a personal story which happened 11 years ago. It was my birthday according to the Jewish calendar, which is lunar one. It was Friday night, namely the starting of Shabbat, and thirdly, the celebration of our new home we just moved in. We invited a few friends to have dinner to celebrate all the above with us. I'm standing in the kitchen for last preparation. Suddenly, I hear in the air above me the song you will hear in a moment. That was a song that Shmuel sang as we sent healing to my father. He with music and me via hands. It was my father's soul song, a deep believer, generous, kind man. As I hear the song above me, I perceive and understand that my father has just passed away and came to say goodbye. And indeed, it was so. In the hospital in Jerusalem, he was given a taste of the Shabbat wine, and then he left. So here is the song, Sim Shalom.
שים שלום, טובה וברכה, חן וחסד ורחמים. שים שלום, טובה וברכה, חיים, חן וחסד ורחמים. שים שלום, טובה וברכה, חן וחסד ורחמים. שים שלום, טובה וברכה, חיים, חן וחסד ורחמים. Grant well-being, blessing and peace, life, beauty, mercy well-being, blessing and peace, life, beauty, mercy and grace. Grant well-being, blessings and peace, life, beauty, mercy and grace. Grant well-beings, blessings and peace, life, beauty, mercy and grace. שים שלום, טובה וברכה, חיים, חן וחסד ורחמים. שים שלום, טובה וברכה, חיים, חן וחסד ורחמים. שים שלום, טובה וברכה, חיים, חן וחסד ורחמים. Grant well-being, blessings and peace, life, beauty, mercy and grace.
We have another story of beautiful music beyond space and time. Again, Shabbat, Saturday morning. Shmuel invited for 11 o'clock a friend who lives in kibbutz not far away from us to practice a special song that she wanted to sing for her 50th birthday. Shmuel was accompanying her on his guitar, was supposed to accompany her in his guitar. At 10 o'clock, I was in the laundry room while Shmuel practicing the song in the living room. Suddenly, I heard a beautiful, clear soprano and an additional string instrument accompanying the song so beautiful. So I said to myself, what is it? She arrived an hour early. How lovely she sings. I peep into the saloon and Shmuel is there alone. I go back to the laundry and again, celestial harmonic melodies accompanying Shmuel. I return to the saloon, understanding that it came from another dimension of time and space. The song is 2 verses from the book of Psalms. At the hard penteth after the water brooks, so penteth my soul after thee, O God. My soul thirsts for God, for the living God. When shall I come and appear before God?
כאייל טרוד על אפיקי מים, כנפשי טרוד אליך אלוהים, כאייל תרוב על אפיקי מים, כנפשי תרוב אליך אלוהים, כאייל תרוב על אפיקי מים, כנפשי תרוב אליך אלוהים, כאייל תרוב על אפיקי מים, כנפשי תרוב אליך אלוהים. צמא נפשי לאלוהים, צמא נפשי לאלוהים, לאל חי. מתי אבוא, מתי אבוא וראה, מתי אבוא וראה פני אלוהים. צמא נפשי לאלוהים, צמא נפשי לאלוהים, לאל חי. מתי אבוא וראה, מתי אבוא וראה פני
Actually, yesterday eve, we make a reversal. A friend of us heard Shmuel singing, and she heard some, what did you say? Hindu music accompanying him. So maybe it happens also here. Now it is funny. The next song is also to do with laundry. This time, hanging it by Shmuel. One day, 13 years ago, as he's hanging the laundry in the backyard of our previous home, suddenly a tune comes in, complete melody, with the music scale and the appropriate accords. He enters, plays it on his guitar, and instantly understands this tune belonged to the poetry Adon Olam, the Lord of the World, by Rabbi Shlomo Ibn Gavriol. Interestingly, H.P. Blavatsky quotes him in the book Key to Theosophy in another song. It seems the melody indeed is fitting an ancient Spanish style that was common during the Middle Age in which he lived, 11th century. The fun was that when I came home, hearing Shmuel singing it, I enjoyed him spontaneously, immediately, as if I always knew the song. The Lord of the World.
אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא, לעת נשא בחפצו כל, אזי מלך שמו נקרא. ואחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא, והוא היה והוא עובד והוא יהיה בתפארה. והוא אחד בן שני להמשילו להכבירה, בלי ראשית בלי תכלית ולא העוז והמשרה. והוא אלי וחי גואלי וצור חבלי בעת צרה, והוא ניסי ומנוס לי מנת כוסי ביום אקרא. בידו אף הקיד רוחי ותישן והעירה, ועם רוחי גבייתי אדוני לי ולא יירא.
Shmuel not only composes melodies or receives them, but he also writes them. A short, powerful song that connects to our subject due to the idea of sacredness is choosing life. אתה רוצה לומר?
אני ניצב במרומי, רואה את כל מה שלפניי, אני מביט בפנים, רואה הכל תמים. אני ניצב במרומי, רואה את כל מה שלפניי, אני מביט בפנים, רואה הכל תמים. קדוש, 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 מכף רגל עד ראש. קדוש, 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 מכף רגל עד ראש. אני מביט כך אל עצמי, בפנים בחוץ שלם אני, כל מעשיי שלמים, אני בוחר חיים. אני מביט כך אל עצמי, בפנים בחוץ שלם אני, כל מעשיי שלמים, אני בוחר חיים. קדוש, 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 מכף רגל עד ראש. 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 אני ניצב במרומי,
And when we aspire for perfection and purity, we aim to become a vessel to the highest. Saint Francis of Assisi, who lived in the 12th, 13th century, was an Italian monk who founded the Franciscan order, wrote a prayer that became very popular in many languages. The song is Ana Eli. Lord, make me an instrument. Where there is hatred, that I may bring love. Where there is offense, that I may bring pardon. Where there is discord, that I may bring union. Where there is error, truth. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. Master, make me not so much to be consoled as to console, not so much to be loved as to love, not so much to be understood as to understand. Grant me the serenity to accept what I cannot change. Grant me the courage to change what I can. Grant me the discrimination to distinguish between those two.
אנא אלי, אנא אלי, עשה אותי כלי לשליחותך. אנא אלי, אנא אלי, עשה אותי כלי לשליחותך. במקום שבו מקננת שנאה, תן לי לזרוע אהבה. במקום שבו עלבון סליחה, במקום שבו חושך אור, במקום שבו עצב שמחה. אדון העולם, אנא אלי, אנא אלי, עשה אותי כלי לשליחותך. אנא אלי, אנא אלי, עשה אותי כלי לשליחותך. העשה שלא אתאווה כל כך, להיות מנוחם אל המנחם. העשה שלא אתאווה כל כך, להיות מובן אל המבין. העשה שלא אתאווה כל כך, להיות אהוב אל האוהב. אנא אלי, לשליחותך. אנא אלי, אנא אלי, עשה אותי כלי לשליחותך. אלוהים, תן לי את השלווה להשלים עם שאני יכול לשנות. ואנא תן לי את אומץ הלב לשנות דברים שביכולתי. ואנא תן לי את החוכמה להבחין בין אלה לבין אלה. אנא אלי, אנא אלי, עשה אותי כלי לשליחותך. אנא אלי, אנא אלי, עשה אותי כלי לשליחותך.
Everybody has a copy? Yes? You need some? So please, we have here, because this song, the next song, we are going to sing together. Maybe you saw that in the transliteration, you just have to learn how to say CH is, make it together? Yeah. So, Rachel Shapira, a well-known Israeli poet, turned the Kabbalist Rabbi Abraham Kook text into a beautiful song. She read out the words during an evening in her honor. And immediately we understood that Shmuel is meant to compose it, and indeed he did. A song of light, words Rachel Shapira, based on Rabbi Abraham Kook's teachings, melody Shmuel Ronen. In everyone there is special light, which is his very own. No other man has light like this. Is hidden sometimes, but always is. His duty is to let it out, to illuminate the world. Not everyone is conscious of his interior light that needs to be kept and nurtured. If he will pass it on to stranger or friend, no one will hurt. Light touching light, the world will shine and bright. And in you too there is light, which is only your own. For light like this nobody has. It is the source of power, the secret of the fountainhead. It is your virtue, it is your duty to make the world shine through.
לכל אחד יש אור שהוא שלו בלבד, ואור כמו שלו אין לאף אחד. לפעמים נחבא הוא, אך תמיד קיים. זוהי חובתו לגלות אותו, להאיר את העולם. לא כל אחד מודע לאור שבתוכו, שהוא צריך לשמור עליו ולטפחו, אם ייתן ממנו לחבר או זר, איש לא ייפגע, אור באור ייגע, העולם כולו יזהר. וגם לך יש אור שהוא שלו בלבד, ואור כמו שלו אין לאף אחד. זה מקור הכוח, סוד המעיין, זוהי חובתך, זוהי סגולתך, להאיר את העולם. Now we repeat and you can follow us with the words in the start.
From the beginning.
לכל אחד יש עוד שהוא שלו בלבד, ואור כמו שלו אין לאף אחד. לפעמים נחבא הוא, אך תמיד קיים, זוהי חובתו לגלות אותו, להאיר את העולם.
Not everyone is conscious.
לא כל אחד מודע לאור שבתוכו, שהוא צריך לשמור עליו ולטפחו, אם ייתן ממנו לחבר או זר, איש לא ייפגע, אור באור ייגע, העולם כולו יזהר.
And in you too there is light.
וגם
גם
בך
בך
יש אור שהוא שלך בלבד, ואור כמו שלך אין לאף אחד. זה מקור הכוח, סוד המעיין, זוהי חובתך, זוהי סגולתך, להאיר את העולם.
For you. For you all. And now, in Heart Vibration Workshop, short workshop, we can connect meditatively to the special light residing in the spiritual heart of each one of us. Let us sit comfortably and take a few long, gentle breaths. You don't need now the copies. We place our hands in a prayer posture in front of the heart, and we ask to enter, to penetrate the source of power, the sacred fountain. We do this as we listen to sound and melody emanating from the here and now. Toward the end, let us fill our hearts with gratitude to the love and light beings who are also our teachers, and we can join them through our hearts like the birds joined. And here comes the song of gratitude.
In gratitude, I adore the God. I adore thee, my Lord. In gratitude, I adore thee, God. I adore thee, my Lord. In gratitude, I adore thee, God. I adore thee, my Lord. In gratitude, I adore thee, God. I adore thee, my Lord. In gratitude, I adore thee, God. I adore thee, my Lord. In gratitude, I adore thee, God. I adore thee, my Lord. Eliata veodeka, Elohai anomemeka. 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 In gratitude, I adore thee, God. I adore thee, my Lord.
We are very excited and pleased to be here with all of you, with the birds, in this beautiful, special place. And as a gift, we shall depart with a priestly blessing. The tune for this blessing was received by our beloved chairman, Avraham Oron, who together with Shmuel issued the disc to heal the heart. So, listen to the priestly blessings ending with the word peace. And so we began and end with peace. And this we give as present to the ADR International Secretary. Please, it's yours. Joseph. May the Lord bless thee and keep thee. May the Lord make his countenance to shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. May the Lord turn his countenance unto thee and give thee peace.
יברכך האל וישמרך, יאר האל פניו אליך, יישא אל פניו אליך וישם בך שלום, וישם בך שלום, יברכך האל וישמרך, יאר האל פניו אליך, יישא אל פניו אליך וישם בך שלום, וישם בך שלום, יברכך האל וישמרך, יאר האל פניו אליך, יישא אל פניו אליך וישם לך שלום, וישם לך שלום.
Peace and love and harmony.
Peace and love and harmony all over the world, everywhere the light can be,
We will make
all over the
be
world, inside and outside, peace and harmony, inside, outside, we can let it be. Peace and love and harmony all over the world, everywhere the light can be, all over the world, inside, outside, peace and harmony, inside, outside, we can let it be. Amen. Thank you very
Spread the
much.
light and love and peace from here to all the world. Thank you so much for listening to us. Thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you, Maria. Thank you.
On behalf of all of us, we thank you, and I think we all lifted our hands for the great thank you for you and Shmuel. Wonderful voice and wonderful words. Thank you.